the studio. We are having an outdoor shoot today, I beg your pardon. And I'm so excited about outdoor shoots. I love outdoor shoots, you can tell, right? Okay, we just went through the story that we're handling today on the screen. I hope you saw that. We decided to come out to talk to people on the street today to hear their views and to get advice from them, because most of these guys, our story is their reality. And I hope that someone watching can get to learn from them. Join us as we go to the street, don't go anywhere. And we're out here on the street and we have Mama Mudo. Mama, tell us your name and what you do for a living.
I live in
Oh, okay. Mama is a businesswoman. Okay, Mama, you know the story already. So what advice do you have to give to wives in that situation around here?
Okay, we wives, at least we wives, we have to endure with the man because we have already entered the marriage. So when we see our husband going wrong, we will call the man to advise him, because he will never abandon his people. Because when he abandons his people, you woman, you can live there at any time. But the man will go and marry another woman that will endure with the man. It's my opinion.
Okay, so and what advice do you give to the husband?
The husband, at least, he should think about his family too. So how to bring his family up so that tomorrow the children will never suffer.
And what advice do you have to give to your younger brother?
You younger brothers, you yourself, you should cope up. Try to maintain in whatever you are doing. If you are moving, if you have Okada or Keke, you should try as much as possible to beat your expenses down, so that you yourself, you will gather yourself, so that you can help others too, as your brother is doing.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hi guys, we have Dr. Ken with us. Oh, I already said what his name is Ken and he's a medical doctor. Good to see you, Dr. Ken. Okay, so what advice do you have to give to the woman or to the husband or to the younger brother?
Well, a little advice I want to give to the audience or the man or the husband is that according to the present law that marriage and institution ordained from God. If you want to do anything contrary to the will of God, you are basically setting match to your marriage. You can help the woman 50, you can help yourself 50. Those days we used to say men is 70%, women 30%, but right now 50-50. The man can bring income, the man can bring income. If you want to bring the extended family to home, you should be able to seek advice from the man. Wisdom is in everything that we need. Contrary to the will of the man, trying to make some things that don't go contrary to the man. I need to advise for every audience to sign up my voice right now, to pay attention to God's will and to give the man's support to his home or to the woman's support. Let me let you advice. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, sir.
The younger brother was in and out of everything that was set up for him. For that reason, that money must go. And since that is gone, the brother still want to help his younger brother. This part of the world, you know, we Africans, we believe in extended family. And our love in our extended family is so strong that it helps us wherever we are. So for that reason, his good mind to help the younger brother is still very, very good. But again, let him call the younger brother and find out the kind of business he can better manage so that he knows the in and out.
When she's not working, well, she's one with her husband. So the fact that she's not working doesn't mean that she cannot initiate plans. Sometimes the fact that she's not working may not be out of her own making. Considering the way the country is now, she may actually want to work, but maybe there is nothing available yet. It could be the ages of the children, the stage where they are. That's what's making her not to work in the moment. So the fact that she's not working does not mean that she cannot plan. As a matter of fact, some women may be better with planning when it comes to running family finances, and all that, than the husband. And I usually tell couples that it's a wise thing to know the strength of each person and allow the person to play out in the area of his strength, irrespective of who is bringing the money. And secondly, I will also say, as much as possible, a woman should not be idle, okay, for long periods of time. Yes, maybe nursing a baby now, or you may have one or two things, but don't just sit down and say you're a full-time housewife. It doesn't seem to be realistic with the current trends in our economy at the moment.
That would be difficult to do because she's not working. She's not a source. The husband seems to be the only source, and so she could still do that in collaboration with her husband. It's not what she can do alone. The husband will give her the assignment to draw, and then she shows it to him for approval, because the money is coming from the man. He's the one that knows how painful the crown is on his head. So she should do that in collaboration with the husband, not alone, because she's not the source of the finance.
Audio Jungle.
You bring him to the place of counseling, must counsel him. Now you bring him to the place where he has to be trained in what he's doing. You may be pumping your money into a system that is not well equipped with knowledge. And so that person is just spending because he knows now. Knowledge is very important. If you are working in ignorance, you are working in darkness. So you bring that person to understanding and to the knowledge base. Put that person on the same page with you. The same page with you. You understand? Then love him. Make sure everything that you see absent in him is imputed. And before you know, that onesimus that is unprofitable will become what? Profitable.
There must be a caution. You know, when I read about it, I looked at it and said, wow, these are familiar terrains I have visited. You know, I've seen a situation where a man got married, was staying with a family, a full family, the first son, and he was able to train his siblings. The siblings were like us in the house. They felt her brother's house. The woman is taken as a stranger that came to the house. But there's one good thing that happened. One by one, all of them began to marry. And when they married, they vowed they would not make the mistake of their brother. What am I telling you? What they did to their sister-in-law, they knew it was bad. They tried to protect their own wives. Later, the man, they had a quarrel. One of the families had a quarrel, and the brother was trying to say, brother, no, don't worry, we'll settle ourselves. And the man looked back and said, I exposed my wife to my family. They all shot. At the point, one of them even slapped the wife, and he felt it was their right. And the man said, Kai, but look at this, my siblings, they're all protecting their spouses. I was a fool. When a man exposes his wife or his family to his brothers, when you are married, leave your brothers and your sisters. Extend your goodwill to them, but not a situation where they become pests unto you. You are there, you are taking care of their toothpaste, you are taking care of their brush, you are taking care of their sugar, you are taking... No. That means you have irresponsible brothers. That means you do not even help to bring up your brothers in a manner that they will be good for the society. When you are married, if your brothers are big, we advocate that rent a room somewhere for them. Take them away from your family. If you can afford that, you have a house that's a boys' quarter. Okay, you can put them at the boys' quarter, but tell them that now the woman in the house is the mother in the house. Whatever she says is what happens. So that they will also make their own family a better place, because they will not stay with you long. And if you begin to treat them like babies, begin to spoon feed them, or now look at it that you are protecting your siblings, a time will come. These brothers will now become problem to you. And at that point, you find out that it will be too late for you to correct them. So I think you can help, but there is a limit to how you can help. If you go by what we read of this situation, the man has no right to establish a business for his brother. After establishing the business for his brother, the brother came back with nothing. I think the brother hid the money somewhere, knowing that the man is now married. The much he can take from the brother will make him good. So I think that situations like that, we should not go too far. We should have a range that will help.
Irresponsible family members, anybody who chooses to be irresponsible, okay, should be made responsible. And what I mean by that is this: nobody was created for the other person. Alright? So if you're a full-grown adult, you should take responsibility of your life. You owe it to yourself. no matter how wealthy or how buoyant you think that family member is, you owe it to yourself. You've got some dignity to be able to plan for yourself. I'm not saying we shouldn't have family members, but this attitude of you keep coming back and you see a bank or an ATM somewhere that you could always go back to and collect money whenever you think that you have a need. Nobody should be encouraged. That's being irresponsible. And one of the ways to handle it, like in this particular case, is that that brother-in-law had no business being in the family, that is being in that home when the wife was coming in, when she was married. A couple should be allowed to live their lives, especially in their early stages. Let them understand themselves, let them plan their lives. That's not to say that family members cannot come in once in a while, but I still believe that family members shouldn't come in to stay with you permanently without a plan. Without a plan. And if you eventually make a plan for them, like in this case, they started a business for him, you know, and all that, he should be held accountable. If that loan was from the bank, you will have to pay. So you don't look at it as because it's my brother that gave me, and because you think that if I always go, he has surplus. The truth is nobody has surplus. If somebody decides to give you for what he has, it's not because he doesn't have what to do with that money. It's just because the person has chosen to be benevolent. So nobody has surplus. So he ought not to have been there. They should have settled him out of the family. He shouldn't be living with them, because it's creating frictions. It's obvious now that he's staying in that house. It's creating emotional and financial frictions between the couple.
It is often said that you cannot bend an okra tree when it's fully grown. So I can't do without referring to the scriptures, because that's what I do. Train up a child in the way he should go, so that when he is old, he will not depart from it. What made that child irresponsible? He didn't become irresponsible overnight. There was a lifestyle. There was an upbringing that was not in consonance with the realities of life. So helping a child has to start from the beginning. The Bible says that foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child. It takes the rod of correction to drive it away. So in our upbringing, we should start from the beginning. Bringing up a child in the way of the Lord, right counsel, right environment, right word. So a child should start, in the Sunday school, at home, in the school. Everything should be in order. When that child grows up and becomes something in society, to be difficult to change what he should have changed at an earlier age. You can't arrest him. You can't lock him up in jail. You can't throw him out. You can't disown him. If you disown him and drive him away, you may just be driving him to a lion's den, and then he will be condemned forever. So send him to a counselor who will be able to mold him and make him realize the realities of life. If he doesn't still understand, then some other measures could be taken. There are people who just leave to their fate, and like the prodigal son, the Bible says he realized himself and he went back to his father. One day, prayer could also help. Pray for him in his absence, intercede for him, and God in his infinite mercies will have mercy upon him one day, and he will come back to himself and then return to the realities of life. But counseling is key.
Yeah, for the wife, I'm sure that when you're in courtship and you saw that a man is living with his siblings, fundamental questions should be asked. Are you willing to send your sibling out, especially knowing the age bracket? If the age bracket is wide, there are people that can be under authority. There are people that can be obedient to the wife as per their age difference. Good. But if the age bracket is very narrow, it means that you have put problem on the wife. Because when she comes into the house, it's like she's having two men. She's married. And no woman will want to have that. Some privacy that she will want and not be there. Now, the man in question, if
he is very wise, like I said before, he will send his sibling away so that he will also enjoy the joy of marriage. Otherwise, he will experience the bitter aspect of the wife. Because when a wife becomes bitter, it's better for him to leave her at the top of the roof than to stay with her. Because it is a natural phenomenon in women. We don't like to share the company of our husbands with another person. We want, especially in early marriage, you want him all by yourself. So she can bring up attitudes, which is very, very normal. And I also advise women, if you have such situation, please don't behave like a saint. Bring up attitude. The attitude she's trying to protect her own home, so that the man should what? Make alternative arrangement for his siblings to live, because they are also matured for the new marriage. So the wife attitude is not out of place. But if the people that she met are loving people, because in marriage sometimes you also need people to assist you one way or the other. If they are loving people and they are reasonable people, the wife's attitude can be accommodating. She can begin to, take them as her own siblings also. It depends on the condition she met. So for a woman to, behave towards her in-laws, irrationally or irrationally, depends on what she has met on the situation.
Her fears is, she's correct when she feared. What she's fearing is right, because the man is wasting that money. And the man himself knows that he's wasting that money, he knows. But when the woman keeps him in remembrance, what is wrong with some women? Say, now some of you, if you like, let him go astray. If you like, let him. No, you have to express yourself as a woman, as a helpmate. The Bible says when Isaac came into her mother's tent, Isaac was what? Comforted. So speak comfortably to your husband, and he will take on board your suggestion. And you will see the way you are seeing. If you are not speaking the truth, he knows. He knows. If you are speaking rashly and stupidly, and one of those foolish women. Job said, why do you speak like one of those what? Foolish women. So the husband is always observing whether you are a wise woman or a foolish woman. But if you are a wise woman, he will take you on board.
Our fears are founded. They're not exaggerated. The fears are founded because everybody tries to protect his territory. Like the story, you find out that he seems to be spending more on the brother than he is spending even on his immediate family. Now, I was just wondering, you said the wife is not working, and then he decides to open a business. Can't the wife run it? Why must the brother-in-law be the one to be put in charge of the shop or business he has started? I see some manipulations there. Because if they actually won and she's not working, I'm not sure she's that dumb that she wouldn't have been able to, manage the family business. So if he now feels, you can open a business to augment our family income, why can't the wife be the one to run it? Why must it be the husband? The brother. The same brother that a business had been opened for before and couldn't make any success out of it. So what makes him feel now that this brother will be successful in this family that he has handed over to him? So our fears are not unfounded at all.
The wife's fear is very genuine and is founded. This is who we are talking about. It's not the boy's home, the brother-in-law. This is her home. And as Africans, there's a way you will talk to your husband and say, this boy is this, is that. The man will be offended. And if it's not well handled, it could affect their home. It's often said that it is a fly that perches on the scrotum. If you don't kill it with wisdom, you kill a human being. And in this case, let me establish the fact that the woman is not unnecessarily agitated. She has every reason to be worried, to be anxious, because this is her home. She has a baby. Even if she doesn't have a baby, she will have her own children someday. And this boy is an intruder. I don't even advise adults to stay with family members. I stayed with my elder brother and his wife and children. And I brought up all the children. I watched them. I brought them up. I carried them as babies. I was responsible by the grace of God. I schooled them, secondary school. It was when I get admission to high institution I had to leave. So the woman has every right to be agitated.
You know, the woman says, your people shall be my people. When the woman from origin in marriage burns the bridge that is behind her, you understand? Because when she comes into your home, she has come from a place. She has to burn the bridge that's behind her and call your people her people and call your God her what? Her God. And so when your husband is watching and seeing that truly this woman has received not only him but also his people, you find that by the time she will be expressing her view, the man will not see it as a point of dismissing her family. His family. He will see it as true counsel. A woman is a counselor. A woman is a counselor. She will go to bet the dream of the husband. Say, husband, you know that God has placed me here to help you bet the dream. And it is my earnest desire that your family succeed, because I now belong to your family. But if she begins to tear the family apart and reject the family from where the man comes from, that is where the man will react. You understand? So therefore, she will have to speak to the man as if she is from the same roof with the man. And then the man will accommodate that.
And talking about what she can do or how to approach the husband to make sure that he doesn't feel that he hates the brother. The facts are there. It's like I said, you've tried him severally. He couldn't make anything out of it. So, but he may not listen to the wife objectively. Okay? He may not listen to her objectively. And that's why I feel that in this case now, the wife may express those fears, okay, to somebody he respects, who can sit him down, probably an older couple, okay, who has seen some of these things before and advise him to say, okay, you put your family interest first before any other person. Your family, your wife and children must come first.
That's nice. But I would recommend the woman should not keep quiet. If she keeps quiet, she will be a contributor to the boy's failure. What I would recommend is she goes to the husband and let him know that I don't hate this boy. I love him. Let's work together to make sure that he comes out well. If she's sarcastic in her statements, she could be misunderstood. But if she corrects the boy with love and tells the husband, what can we do? There's a way she will approach the matter that the husband will know that she's doing what she's doing out of genuine concern. My husband, what shall we do? What can we do? Let's do something about this boy. But by the time she starts shouting on the boy, rebuking him, hate speeches and all that, to be obvious that she hates him, but let her approach the husband in love and also approach the boy in love. There's a way you can approach even the devil. He will know you love him. In the case where the husband doesn't value the wife's advice or doesn't listen to her, if I were in the shoes of that woman, I'll look for someone the husband respects. Either a family member, an uncle of his, or his own father, or a friend of his. Someone he respects so much that he can listen to. I will not say, there's a husband that will not also like you taking their stories out. But in this matter, I will dare the devil. I will go meet someone who he will listen to come into the matter. One will chase 1,000, but two, 10,000. Bible says the multitude of counselors there's wisdom. But if you don't have counselor to counsel you, you're not safe. I'll go out. Thank you.
Audio Jungle.
To have a sibling that is financially irresponsible, it's like you taking a pig. You bring him out from the mud, you bait him, but there's a nature in him who will go back to the mud, like what we have seen. I think first of all, you have known the weakness of your sibling. When you have known his weakness, you should also know his strength, because in every man there is a strength and there is a weakness. Financially, he could be weak. Such a person that is weak financially, you don't open business for him. You don't make money easy for him to acquire. What you need to do, try and send him, even if it's police, let him go to police force, even if it's civil defense. Try and let him go to where he will stay in the sun, if possible, and earn something. Make money difficult for him. Are you getting me? Make money difficult for him. Let him learn to earn something for himself. You can buy him clothes. Yes. You can pay for his rent. Yes. But don't put him in business where cash is being, seen. Cash is being made available to him. He will mismanage it. Make him where he will count his cost also by waiting for the month to end and getting a salary. For such people, I think that is the best advice I can give to him. If you have somebody, you can beg somebody to employ him. I don't mind you begging somebody to employ and paying a salary through that person for some time. Let him know how to work and wait for salary for the month and get it. He will put premium on that. But if you don't do that and you are giving him, and there is this laissez-faire, attitude of money, he will squander it. And after he has done that, the body will continue to be on you. So that is my advice I can give to such a person.
The brother-in-law is not in a kind of situation.
Okay.
That's the way I look at it. He's seeing a free money and is capitalizing on it. So he's not in a situation. For him, he's enjoying what is happening. So he's not in a situation. It's the other people who have a situation at hand that needs to be managed. Because if he says he's in a situation, he enjoys what is happening. So he's not in a situation. So it's the other people that need to get him out of the house and get him responsible. It may be a final help. This is what we're going to do, and you are not coming back. I'm going to give you this money. I'm going to set you up on this. You're going to, after now, I expect you to be independent financially. And then you cross your heart. By deciding to just lavish money, and all that, it's not helping you. So that brother will not always be there, for you. And then let him also remember that one day he will be married. Okay? And then he will have his own wife, and children to cater for. And now I've found out, that many times those who do that to their elder brothers, when they eventually get married and have their children, they guard their territory. That's why I feel that he doesn't have an issue. He knows what he's doing. So they need to take a firm stand, on him. But they are not helping themselves, to start with. Because it's the same hand you use to handle other people's things. Eventually, when you have your own things, it's that same hand that you're going to use to handle it. So if you've not been able to manage a business successfully and you now think, oh, when is my own money, I will do it better. You are deceiving yourself, because those bad skills that you have picked along the line, when you now have your own resources, you will replicate exactly the same thing, and then you'll be nowhere at the end of the day.
For the young man in the picture, you should realize, people say a fool at 40 is a fool forever. There is a time a young man should realize that he has gone too far in his foolishness and stupidity and come back to himself. And you should know that very soon people will know and discover his foolishness. And he's wasting away already. He should come back to himself, like the prodigal son I mentioned earlier, and realize that he's failing. He has not failed, but he's failing. He could retrace his steps and become whom God wants him to ever be. For the wife,
He needs to understand that, like I said earlier, his family interest comes first. And if he thinks he has so much money now, life sometimes swings. Okay, he may think he's so buoyant now. If he thinks he's buoyant now, then he should invest the money for the family. Because if things swing around, one, these people or this brother is giving the money to will not be there to fall back on, won't have anything to offer him the way he has been squandering the resources. So he needs to understand that one, his family interest comes first, and if he has that kind of loose extra cash on his hands, let him invest it. Then secondly, the business he has opened, I don't know if that may be too late now, but I think the wife should have been put in charge of that business. You may feel, oh, she doesn't have the requisite skills in that area. If she doesn't, let a third party who is not a family member start while she's being mentored, okay, by that person to take over the business, rather than put a family member there. I have found that when it comes to business, family members are not the best, because many times they are not accountable. Okay, so that's my advice for him. Invest whatever resources you have, okay, and do it in the interest of your immediate family first. And then he needs to understand, he may think he's loving his brother, he's only encouraging him to be irresponsible. So he needs to take a firm decision. He could give him one more chance in the sense that, okay, this is what I want you to do for yourself. I'm ready to commit this amount of money to it. And if you're not able to do anything with it after now, no. Now, for the wife, like I said, whatever is coming from her now, people may think she's biased, and all that. But what she can do, let her get something doing. Part of these issues in family is that when they feel that the wife is not working, the family members sometimes have it in their head that it's our brother's money, so we should partake of it. We should share in the whatever loot, okay, is coming in. But if she was an active, what's the word now? Active in adding to the income of that family, perhaps it will give her more say, even though it ought not to be like that. So let her find something doing, and then she should look for somebody who the husband can respect to also talk with the husband, so that she doesn't die in frustration.
Getting out of the situation is a bit dicey. One, she asks herself, does she want to get out of the marriage? I know a situation where a man told his wife, we have to choose between my brother and this marriage. If my brother leaves, you leave. So a situation like that, and she doesn't want to leave, what will she do? She has to endure it. So she will have to endure the marriage and pray to God that God will help her to intervene. When matters become something that is becoming extraordinary, it is divine intervention of God that she will need. And if the parents are alive, situation where the parents or the other siblings, they can talk to the brother that, look, marriage is different from what sibling affairs. You cannot take a man away from his brothers and sisters. That is a confirmed, life situation. But you cannot use your own family life to play with another family. That one is not something that any family should encourage. So the woman should go to maybe a counselor to seek counsel. She should go to her pastor and she should pray often. What you cannot do physically, in the realm of the spirit, you can pray, and that brother, those two brothers, they will begin to have different opinions about the situation. And who knows, the man can leave. Or like in the situation, maybe if the man sends the brother abroad finally, I think you have gotten relief, even though it's your husband's money. Sometimes you look at it, you weigh the two options. One option might be that, oh, money will be lost. Are you getting me? But if at the expense of money you have peace in your home, you decide, okay, let money be lost, but let my peace return. So those options, prayerfully, I think God will give us solution to it.
To this husband, I will advise him to please listen to the voice of reason. He should listen to his wife. Women have a kind of foresight and men do not have. I can tell you that. Women spare trouble before men do it. And when you listen to your wife, you know she will not be selfish with her counsel. Listen to her. She could just have something to offer as a remedy to this situation. And then the husband should not also be too hard on this boy. Because if you are too hard on him, you could just push him out to do the worst to himself. There is still something in him that will be cherished tomorrow, a potential that God has deposited on his inside that can be nurtured for the future. For the wife, I counsel that she should not overreact, because her overreaction could be misunderstood by anybody, and then her good will be evil spoken of. She should calm down, seek counsel from outside, and then advise the husband, not as if he's giving instructions, but discuss with him amicably and provide solution to this whole problem. And then if she can assess the boy, that also approach him lovingly. Anybody responds to love. Anybody, even the devil, even demons, they respond to love. So if she can show genuine love from her heart, I'm sure she will have more resource than if she goes otherwise.
Audio Jungle.
Now both ways, because sometimes it's the lady, she has younger ones staying with her before she gets married, and unconsciously many of them want to marry with these people. They want them to still be part of their new home. It's wrong. Whichever way it's coming from, whether it's the man or it's the woman. If you have people who are staying with you before you get married, you need to prepare them, okay, to say, now I'm starting my own family and I don't want any of you to start that family with me. It's two of us. It's very important. A couple, when they're just starting life, they are coming from different backgrounds. They're going to have their frictions, whether we like it or not. They need that learning time to understand themselves without a third party being involved. So no man, no woman should get married with the concept of I'm bringing in my brother with me, I'm bringing in my sister with me. Whatever brother or sister has been staying with you before you got married, sort out that person. They always come up with, oh, they have nowhere to go. I don't believe it's true. It's not true. It's not true, because if you were not there, you would leave. So let each person, stay on his own. Leave them, give them some time, 2 years, 3 years, let them understand themselves. And nobody should come in to stay permanently. Don't come in to stay permanently. You upset so many things in the house because you now make yourself a member of that family. Decisions, everything, directly or indirectly, you influence it. So people should be allowed to live their lives. So if you're a young person planning to get married, you have dependent relatives that are staying with you, sort them out. And when you marry and marry alone. Don't bring them into your marital home as a young couple. It will always create frictions. It will always create frictions.
Preventive measures. We have many, let me mention a few. I mentioned one earlier. Train up a child in the way he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it. Number 2, our upbringing has environmental factors and influence over us. I'm sure this brother that brought him in, he was already living with the brother before he got married. I'm sure if he had worked on this boy, even before getting married, the boy may not have come out the way he came out. At the same time, you can never tell. He may have done his best, and his best didn't produce any result. I would also recommend that to prevent this kind of occurrence in the future, we should learn to teach our younger ones how to be independent early enough in life. I preach it everywhere. A 25-year-old boy, 30-year-old boy who's already a graduate shouldn't stay with his parents. Shouldn't live with his elder ones. You should have your own compass in life. Just do something for yourself to help yourself. Staying with someone for too long could make you irresponsible. And then maybe your peer groups. After adolescence, every young man or woman is already outside of his parental control, and as such, his peer groups take over. And so we should be mindful of the kind of companies we keep, because evil communications will always corrupt good manners. In Proverbs chapter 13 verse 20, it says, "He that walketh with the wise shall be wise, but the companion of fools shall be destroyed." So mind your friends and mind who comes around you to be your friend. Thank you.
I don't know what it is that brought you here today. I don't know what it is you've been looking for. Lift your head up to the sky. God is ready for you. He